So I was kind of angry, I guess, at God, because I'm just saying, like, if so many people are trying to do good and be good and try to save these kids and help these kids, or even finding their body to give them a decent burial, or if it's a sex trafficking ring, let's start knocking that down. Why isn't it being knocked down? Why are they taking so long? Why are so many children being taken from their house? Which I don't believe Summer was. Okay? I'll go more into that. But I don't know. I prayed. I just kept saying Hail Marys, Our Fathers. I just laid there with my legs up against my headboard. My head was on like it's like a yoga thing. I used to do it all the time. I used to do yoga. I know, you can't believe this body used to do yoga, but I was very good at it. I started when I was 12, and then I used to do it a few years back. Anyhow, so you could even lay on the floor. That's comfortable, but I laid on my bed, and because I have a big headboard and my legs up, and I was there a good half hour. Well, I couldn't feel any circulation in my legs anymore. But anyhow, the only thing I kept hearing is keep doing it for the kids. Because I was like, is it useless what I do? Am I making a dent in anything? I mean, I'm not even like the featured psychic like some other people are. And they said, no, that's the ego talking. So don't listen to that voice. Listen to the voices of the kids. And I do hear them, every one of them. Gannon is my spirit guide, you know that. Summer appears to everybody. Summer is very special, but she appears to a lot of people. Anybody who asks, she'll come. She likes to talk. She's very much a talker, like Shanann. Shanann is very talkative as well. Shanann is still my spirit guide as well. And then the boys, I get sad about the boys, of course, because they haven't been found. Doesn't seem like there's any leads, and people are getting away with murder. And like, I can only give you what I get, and even with the boys, I didn't feel like they were trafficked. Even if they wanted to be trafficked them, they were killed out of anger. And they didn't want to pay for them anymore. So that's my opinion. In my opinion, Katrina Mystic Brady's opinion, and that's allegedly for entertainment reasons only. But I believe in myself. Okay, and I heard the boys' voices. One is a little more talkative than the other, because you got to remember, they were babies, 3 and 4 years old. Okay, but they do grow up in heaven. And I feel this reader, Morticia, captured moments. Morticia, I think her real name is Tara. She has a channel and she does the EVP box, and I believe she got exact location where the boys are. But the problem is law enforcement doesn't listen to psychics, intuitives, and empaths, and EVP spirit box readers. Sometimes they do, but they don't admit it, and they just want to make fun of us like it's 1940. Okay? Come on. People have gifts, and they're for a reason. They're given to us. Sometimes we could use them our whole life. Sometimes we could use them for some things, and then sometimes we have to give our brain a break if we get sick. Okay? That's God and your spirit guides telling you have to rest. You're getting yourself out of your mind, and you're hurting your body. Okay, so that's what I did. I rested. Okay, well, I tried to. I'm always on the case, though. You know that. You know me. So I'm watching everything, almost everything, except I couldn't watch last night I couldn't watch the whole thing of the interview room because I felt like Chris was interrupting his guests, Mary and the other guests he had, too much. So I just like zoomed through it. Maybe I caught like 15 minutes or 10, 15 minutes, but it's okay because I got the gist of it. Because there's so many other channels that you gotta watch. Anyhow, yeah, so just protect yourself. And now I'm gonna read you my cards, and then sorry about the crying and the baby being a baby, but I know that other people are going through it too. It can't just be me. Okay, what are we listening to? We are listening to Spiritual Reset of your crown chakra. How's that? Spiritual Reset. Jason Stevenson. Okay. Oh, and please use music. When I don't do my music, and by the way, when I don't do my music, listen to my music, my meditation music, that's how I get like all bogged up. And even when I was at school, I put on lower blood pressure because I felt like my blood pressure. I was like, if one more kid asks me how to do place value, I don't know. I guess I felt like I showed it to them on the board. I didn't have any iPad. I didn't have any, all the technology was turned off in the room, so I couldn't use that screen. So I showed them on the board. I showed it on paper. I went to individual desks, but they weren't getting it because maybe they just started it. They just started third grade. So I was trying to calm myself down because I felt like my heart beating, and then I felt like my blood pressure going up, and I was like, is this about summer, or is this about, that I just seem stressed out? I don't know. So I put on lower blood pressure music in the background at my desk, and I'm telling you, 5 minutes later, I was better. I tend to have low blood pressure, which is pretty good at 58, and this weight. Okay, that rhymed. Anyway, it's because I try to be zen. I don't like when I want to beat somebody up in jail, but where kids are concerned, I want to protect them. And so, of course, I came across a lot of abuse when I was working as a teacher because I worked in Title I schools my whole career in Staten Island and in Brooklyn. So they were Title I schools, and kids would come in, with a lot of signs of abuse. And I called so much because as a teacher, you're a mandated reporter, but as a human being, you're a mandated reporter. But I called so much that my principal that I had tried to not give me the number, tried to hide it and the secretary told me, the principal doesn't want you to have this number because she doesn't want any trouble. And I go, but that's ridiculous. This kid could be being abused, and I'm going to report it. And I'll take, whatever. They can talk to me. They'll follow up with me. I know how to do CPS. I know how it ran. And usually, it wasn't, they didn't do a good follow-up. They did. This big scams going in. But you know what? As a human being, I knew that it was better to do it than to let it go. Like a kid that was, you try to go through the parents. You try to invite them in, try to talk to them, try to tell them, the kids can't come to school dirty with, all stuff all over them. They have to have a bath or shower at night before they come to school. They have to have, clothes. It doesn't have to be fancy clothes, but it just, they can't come with bruises and say it hurts to sit down because my dad did the belt on me last night, and the metal part of the clip cut my butt. Yeah. So, anyhow, I know about that, and it's painful to do it. It's hard to do it. It's scary to do it, but you got to do it, okay? Because you do it for the kids. You don't do it for yourself and your own comfort. You do it for the kids. So maybe, you know, people put a foot down and say, you're not going to treat this kid like this and just get away with it. Okay? So, anyhow, let me just get to these cards so that I can end this. This is a lot of emotions. Okay, so I don't even remember what the question was, but it was probably, where is Summer? Where can we find Summer? All right, so I did my crime cards, and I got a lot of people that we should look at. Okay, so first of all, I got this card, wrapped in a blanket, fabric, material, or blanket. I've gotten that before. And if you go back to my original videos, because now it's coming out that allegedly that she was dying in the car. She told the grandmother she didn't feel good. That now the grandmother allegedly is coming out with a statement that she was dropped off. She went into her house. Therefore, the boys were alone for even longer, probably 10 hours. The boys were alone. No meals to be had, and maybe they just ate chips or whatever was there. Anyhow, doesn't sound like the grandmother went over concerned, oh, let me go check those boys out, they've been alone for a long time. No, she went to rest in her trailer, and she's admitted that they did not plant those flowers that day. Okay, so that was a lie that they both said, all three of them said. And she said that she took the car with Summer in it to go meet Don. Remember what I originally said with the plastic container? I think she went into a plastic container. Okay, because when you pass away, you start to release gases and bleeding and all kinds of liquids and stuff. Okay, so they had to protect the car. And then I see Don doing something. Okay, where they should have taken her. Now the mother admits, I thought they were going to go to the hospital, bring Summer to the hospital. But then when they came back, they didn't have Summer with them. When she came back in the car, there was no Summer. She never saw Summer again. Okay, go back to my earlier videos. I said that. I never believed that she went back to the house and went down the stairs. I never believed that. So therefore, they probably told the boys, oh, yeah, she was back here. You just ignored her. That was all a lie. Okay? Anyhow, the next card I got was cemetery. There's been some talk that on Ben Hill Road, there was a cemetery that was owned at one time, I don't know if they still own it, by Don Wells or the Wells family. However, it's not called the same thing. It's called something else. But I just, in essence, where is she? And I got a cemetery. Is that supposed to mean she's in the cemetery, or is it supposed to mean she's passed away and needs to be in a cemetery? Or does it indeed link up to the cemetery that he used to own? And I got this before too. Desert tumbleweed. And you might say, well, there's not any desert tumbleweed in Tennessee. But what they're showing me is, you know, hay, and when hay has manure on it, horse manure, right? And it's bundled up and it's got mixture of hay and horse manure so that nobody would recognize the smell. And a lot of people, a lot of psychics have seen in their visions of Summer something to do with the stable, something to do with the horses, ranches. And then remember that black horse that went when they were doing the news report about Summer, and a black horse got loose and went running down the street. Okay, so maybe that's a link to what they did with the body. Okay, so then I got a male or a female, or could be a child, 5 through 18, under 25. They look much younger. Okay, with this, I'm getting the teenagers, that know something, which teenagers, True and her brother Hunter. Okay, under 25. And also, it could be the kids, the boys. All right? Maybe for their own privacy, for their own, what's it called? Safety. That's why they put them in separate places, separate states, separate places. Okay? For their own safety. Then I got 6 to 12 months. It's already been 3 months, right? Let's see. July, August. Yeah, we're coming up on 3 months. Then I got these characters. Okay. What is this? Blue eyes, fair skin, blondish or reddish hair, auburn. They have fair skin. But they could be tanned. They could, their skin might be ruddy, ruddy meaning you have fair skin, you go out in the sun a lot, and you don't use sunscreen, so your skin gets like a permanent reddish tan, okay? But this is what they look like. Blue eyes. I didn't get green eyes for this one. I got blue eyes, reddish hair. What about them? They know something. Then I got these characters. Sorry, they look scary, but so one of them has a scar on their face, body or hand. So you could see it right away. So initially it would be, if it could either be on their face or right here. That's what you see when you see somebody. You'll recognize if they have a scar, if it's on their face, and a little bit less if it's right here on their neck or hand. Why on their hand? Because you use your hands to talk sometimes. I do, but you use your hands to do work. Okay, so they might have a big, huge scar. They have tattoos and outstanding characteristic. Have you seen these people? Okay. And then I told you there's a lot of people, and I usually look how big this deck is. How many cards I made. And so I don't usually get a lot of people cards, but I guess she's trying to let me know. Look for these people. They'll know information about me. All right, so blue or slash hazel eyes. So they can have either blue or hazel. Or they can have the kind of eyes that one day they look blue, next day they look green. Okay, and you're like, what color eyes do you have? Are they green or are they blue? Okay, and they were like, oh, depending on my mood, they change. Okay, and they have blonde or sandy hair that they would have highlights. I got this card before. Oh my gosh. Is this Robin? Is this Robin? This looks like Robin. Could be. So we're getting a lot of blue eyes and hazel eyes people. Some people are more nefarious looking, you know. And these are just young people. Yeah. Yeah. They hold the answers. People are going to start talking. The floodgate is opened already. Okay, which is good. I'm happy about that. Because, you know, it takes a lot of pressure off. Okay, and then I got the towers, smoke, tall tanks, oil or water tank. Okay, don't feel like she's in there, you know, like Cece and Bella. I feel like you'll see a tank near wherever she is. Okay, and wherever she is still remains. I feel she's been moved 3 times. 2 to 3 times, okay? Yeah, Gannon confirms that. Yeah, Gannon's like me. Katrina like me. Like, well, I was working on Gannon's case, and Doc Rose, I feel like she got the closest to it, but didn't realize it because she kept saying, describing the water was murky water and a bridge, and that was spot on, and it was in the state that she lives in. So the thing that I was seeing is, Gannon's not going to be found until the spring, because I don't see any snow on the ground. I see the little creek, I see the water, and I see trees, and I see some stones that are grayish color. Okay, he was found by grayish color, those cement rocks that they put over by the bridge where he was found. Anyway, so in some ways I was right, because he was in the snow. He was in 2 different sections in Colorado. Again, I can't sit there and listen to all that testimony, because I can't let it come to me about what she did to him. But I wouldn't mind hearing it if somebody knows, if somebody read the transcript so far. But I believe, just psychically, I don't have anything to back this up, I felt he was in 2 different places by the mountains. And there was water, but it was iced over, because it was freezing cold in Colorado in January. It was January when he went missing, and then he wasn't found until March. But he was found in Florida. All right. So when I'm seeing with this now, going back to summer, and Gannon is shaking his head and going like this, 2 and then 3 fingers, meaning she has been moved. But one time that she was moved was house. So maybe the shed. Maybe she was in by the shed until Candace, was figuring out. Candace and Dom were figuring out what to do, allegedly. Okay, or a shed. Okay, but then moved. Okay, anyhow, somewhere where she is, she could see the water, she could see mountains in the back, mountains, and the water, not too much water, could be a lake, man-made lake, or a creek. I don't feel she's in the water. I feel she's down in something. Okay. And in around that direction, there's some sort of tower or a tank that she could see. Okay. Let me know in the comments. Always pray for the family members. Please pray for those 3 boys. Please always pray, of course, for Summer, but those 3 boys that have to live their life like this. I'm very worried about the youngest one. Very worried about him. Just take a pic. When you look at a picture of the family, blow that picture up of him. Even if he's doing a weird fake smile, look at his eyes and look at the way he's holding his hands like this. He's holding his finger. Now, kids hold their fingers like that because nobody's holding them. And they're scared of something. They're not happy in their own skin. They're worried about something. And nobody's comforting them. They're afraid. So they'll comfort themselves by going like this, holding a finger. Or going like this. Okay? Hold it, putting their hands over their privates. That's to protect your private. Because somebody has been either alluding to hurting you or violating you. And so the natural, or they have been already. And the natural thing is to go like that. Okay? Not in every single case, but most cases. But that little boy, I'm very worried about him. I'm worried about all of them, and I'm also worried about Hunter and True. So please, prayers up for all of them, and I hope everybody enjoys their day. I'm so sorry about the crying, but, psychic blues, empath problems. Okay. Have a great day. Namaste, everybody. Be kind to everyone, and especially be kind to yourself.